Alright, and welcome back to my series on building out the brewery website. If you were here on the last time, you got to see how I use the JavaScript to build this out. And in my previous videos, I set everything up and we've gotten through about half of the site so far, and I think the rest of it's going to go pretty quickly. So that's what we're going to be working on for this video. So I'm going to forego the usual intro of who I am. I'm guessing you already know if you're this far into the series, but if you haven't been watching the rest of the videos in this series, I strongly recommend that you go check those out because it's going to make everything else make a lot more sense. Now, let's keep on going. So if we come and look at my document here, we have this part left. Now, it's been brought to my attention through a kind commenter that I forgot to do this, and I 100% did forget to bring that in, so we're going to get there in a second. But my main focus is actually going to be these two right now, because I think we can get all of that done in a relatively short amount of time. Now, one thing that's clearly broken on my site here is this didn't line up how I was expecting it to for either this part or that part, which is kind of weird. So I want to find out what happened with what happened with those. So what I'm going to start by doing is my inspect here. And I'm going to go on my section mission and go to layout, and I guess I didn't need to go on that one, but I want to put on my grid. So my grid numbers all make sense. Now the reason I'm confused is my section title. Oh, it's because I made my card. That would do it, and it's in my card where I put my section title. Aha! So my cards are ignoring that, which makes sense, and it doesn't really matter because I didn't want that to fall on there anyway. Okay, so that's good. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to come into here and make a new folder, because I have my layout folder, but I'm going to make a new one called components. And, whoops, I want that to make sure it's in my SCSS folder. And in my components, I'm going to make a new one called _card.scss. And we're going to need another one called _buttons.scss, because those are two different things we're reusing throughout the site that don't really belong to any specific layout necessarily. Great. So the buttons one I'm going to worry about a little bit later, but both of these we do need to bring into my main. So let's go and do that. They're going to get in right here at import components / cards. And at import components / buttons. And let's see what we can do with this. So let's go to my cards. I also need one maybe for my layout here. I'm thinking, because I'm not sure if I like... I can't use this grid. Let's go back to XD for 1 second, because if we look here, I'd originally done this as a 6-column grid. There it is. There it is. I didn't really, or no, I didn't even do, I thought I didn't do 12. I thought I had this as a 6-column grid. I'm not sure what happened, because, it would appear my grid has been screwed up, because originally I think I had it as a 6, and then this would be maybe even a 5, because this could be 6, because that could be 4 and 3. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Now the only thing is they're repeated here and here. I'm gonna go back to my general and make a new type of section. Section cards display, and this was just going to change the grid. Grid will be auto flow like usual, but then it's going to be the same min max on the outside. Let's just take a look at this whole thing. I'm going to change this up a little bit though. Copy you, paste, but instead of this, I'm going to do a repeat 6 1FR for now. We might have to change that, but for now I'm going to use that. So I'm going to come back to my index, and my carousel's finished. My section here can be section card, which means it's using cards. Any section that will use cards will get this section card. And I don't think I need any mix-ins. Close a few of these just to clean up. Okay, so let's just see what we have going on now. So let's save everything and let's go find Firefox again. We'll do section card. Okay, so now we can see I have my I have my 6 columns on there. Good. Good. So my section card. So let's go back to cards and I'm going to say, how did I do this? I had my section card, I had a card, and then I have my image. That might be like a card image, right? I was thinking of doing this differently when I was writing the markup. So here I could do my, let's just start with my card. My card is always going to be a column span 4. Whoops, not just column, grid column, span 4. Because every time I have a card, it's going to have to span 4 of my columns. Yep. I also never want anything starting in this first space. Okay, we're going to have 2 other classes on here too. We're going to have a start, which will be a grid column of 1, 2 span 4. So I don't even need this. I think I'm going to do, oops, I forgot. So I want it to start at there, and I'm going to have a and end, which will be a -2 span 4, which I think is going to work. We're going to go back to here, and on my card, this card, we're going to do card start. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. The problem is now with this image that I put a class on, but all the way at the end, class front, and we'll just call it card image, even though it's not. It's related to it, so I'm going to do it with this. So and card and image. Grid column span 3. We're gonna have to do the same thing with my start and end there. Be a lot easier if they were nested, but they're not nested. So and end, we'll start just with the end one. It will be so even this whole thing here, I can take that off because it's gonna come to here. Grid column 5 span 3. Go back to here. Card image end. Ha, there we go. Good. I have 2 rows of stuff now. We can fix that up in a second, but I'm happy they're starting to fall where I want them to be falling. The other thing, general, image max width 100%, display height auto. Better. There we go. So it's starting to look how I want it to look, which is nice. Better. Super duper. Okay, so that was a bit harder than I thought it would be, but it's working. I should make it, because we're going to need it after. And start, which would be a grid column of 2 over span 3. Cool, so that one I'm going to use down for these images over there once we get to that. Okay, so now in my card, I have a card, I have my card dark. This is a card dark, but for all my cards, they're going to have a padding. We'll say 2M. I just want to go look back at my XD here for a second. Padding of 2M. They both have that border thing, right? So I'm going to use an outline for that. Outline 2 pixels solid. Current color should work actually. And outline offset -1em to pull that in. Cool, good. They also both need a box shadow. Box shadow 0, 0. I'll just take what I had on this one actually. 0.5em, 0.5em, RGBA, black. We'll go with like a 0.5 to start with. Change that down to like a 0.3, and this I think was like 5 pixels or something down. So that's not too bad. I might actually just change my start here to span 5. I know it's not exact, actually. Might be more similar than I thought. My text also might not be exactly the same. That's okay. So that's good. Now I also want to do my colors for this. So card, and dark. So my dark one gets a lot of changes on it. It's going to have a background of color blue dark. And I don't want to be, a color of color blue light. The one that's different is my section title. I'm going to do this the lazy way. I'm not going to, might be better to create a separate class that I can apply directly to that. But I'm just going to say, and section, and inside of there, a section title, color white. Good. All right, that looks pretty good. I haven't styled my button yet. The real question is, do I just use, I'm gonna have to play with the padding and stuff, but do I just put the picture in the back? Because I could do like bring that up. But what I'm gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna make 5 rows on this. Repeat 5, 1FR. That's gonna give me like a whole bunch of extra crap there. But now if I go back to my cards and my card will always have a grid row of, it's always on, yeah, this one's always on the top. So if we do 1/4, and then my image, card image, always has a grid row of 2/5. Why'd that not work? They should be overlapping. So the problem I have is when I did that, which I think is a good idea, on how I'm doing it, this needs to be card image space card image end, and my other one, which is this way, needs to be, I'll add it now because it's not here, card image space card image end. Does that make sense? Save. I've managed to break everything. No, there we go. Okay, sweet, it's working. I have my text going underneath it now. if I did 6? Make this a bit bigger, just to see. I'm going to end it at 6 actually. I'm going to stick with my span 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have an extra one? Why is it going up to 6 when I said repeat 5? We'll just stick with that then, I guess. The problem, I could build padding into this, but it becomes super hard to reuse it because I'd have to build my padding. If we could do floats, it would be perfect, but I don't think a float's going to work in this case. So my whole idea of the front and back, I don't think is going to work. So I'm just going to bring my image always to the back instead of having it in the front. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. Now, obviously, well, that's automatically done. I don't need my front and back classes anymore. They're kind of redundant. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this image so it's facing the other way. And actually, I could do it. Yeah, I'm going to do that off camera. And yeah, I'll do that off camera and it'll fix that. So if I turn that off and we just come and take a look at what we have right now, that's more or less what I want that to be. I just need to do my button now. So let's go over to my buttons. Did I do BTN or did I do button? So I have my button. So let's go and look at what my button looks like. My button has a lot of padding. It's probably going to be a bit smaller than that when all is said and done, but my font family is my font family heading. Text transform uppercase. Text transform uppercase. Padding, we'll go with like 0.25, 25M, 1M, which is a bit more than I use. Whoop. Did I call this title? I called it title, not heading. Okay. That's more or less text decoration none. Let's see what that looks like. I'm more or less there. Maybe we can add a little bit of margin to it. Margin 0.5M0. Oh, display inline block. There we go. That's gonna look a little bit better. 0.500 maybe. We'll try that for now. Okay, so that's good. Then I have my and light. So this one is a background of color brown light. The color on this one is color blue dark, I believe. I'm gonna play with this a little bit. This can be like 1.5 maybe. Let's bring it up to 2. And a border radius of let's just do like 5 pixels or something. I'm not gonna play with M's too much. Do I have what it is here actually? Border, and do a little bit more. So we can do like 0.5M then. Said I wasn't gonna use M's, but there we go. And perfect. And just to make sure it doesn't get in the way, line height of 1. Nope, we're gonna take that off and stick. Great, so it looks pretty good. We should probably put a hover state in that. And light and hover. So my hover here will get a, kind of just do an opacity on it of like 0.8. A little worried about how that's going to work on this one, but I'm going to stick with that for now, and we'll see what that looks like, because for here, for me, that's perfectly fine. Actually, we can see it. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I'm happy with that. Great. So that one's done. Now let's keep going to, I need to bring my image into this, but let's go down to this card here, which is completely busted, and because I think we can fix this one up super fast. So while we're here, we can fix my buttons right away. And light and dark. So my dark one should be, I think, a background of color blue dark, color of white. That's about what I wanted, and I guess we should put a, and you know what, I wonder, I'm just going to use this for all my buttons for consistency's sake. I think that's going to work fine. So light, dark, and the last one is an outline, which is a border of color blue dark. We also need to say how thick it is. I think it was like 2 pixels solid. And that's good, except the color on it is also color blue dark. And I'm going to switch this to current color. Because the nice thing with that is that way the color of this matches this color. So I only have to change it in one place and my border will change. So just for example, if I change my color to white, the border changes with it. So a nice way to get your border and your color both to always be the same. Super, except why is this one dark? What's this? What's going on? I gotta figure this one out. Okay, I might have screwed up my HTML on the way here somewhere too. Actually, I'm just gonna look at it here fast. Oh, I did do dark on that one. That's silly of me. I copied and pasted and I forgot. We'll just call this one card light, but I don't even know if I have to style it at all. I don't need that front class. That's not doing anything. What I do need is card end. I was worried about that. Okay, I can fix that. I wasn't sure if this I just said -2, but it shouldn't be -2. It should be, because negatives go that way. Where's my numbers? 2, and then it's shooting out that way. It should really be like -7. It should just be 3, right? Isn't it something like that? Oh no, I started it way over. My image is going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I should start it at 4. 4 span 4, which will bring me to 8, which makes sense. And then this image here is going to be an image start. So I have to go back to here. Start. And I don't need that back part. Start. That should move it over to there. Awesome. And this is just my card light, card dark, and I can do my and light, background is white. Ha! Awesome. Super. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This one probably could get a better hover on it, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. Alright, so there we go. If we go up, there we go. You can see I've reversed this image over, so I did that off screen. Like I said, just a little simple flip, and that's looking pretty good. Alright, and that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. We're going to have 2 more videos in this series. The first one, we're just going to be wrapping up the rest of the design on this, or the rest of the coding based on our design. We're going to do that the next little section that's missing in our footer and fix up a few little things here and there. And then in the very last video, I'm just going to do sort of a general recap on everything and show you a cool few little things and maybe look at a few things I would have done differently. So I look forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, as usual, don't be shy, leave them down below. And until next time, don't forget to make your corner of the internet just a little bit more awesome.